Let's be honest. What's the hardest part of any research project? For a lot of us, it's just asking the right questions. So today, we're diving into this simple tool that's designed to solve that problem. It's called the Instant Research Question Generator by Professor Johannes Kronje. You've totally been there, right? You've got your big idea, you're excited to get going, but then you're just stuck, staring at a blank page thinking, okay, but what am I actually supposed to be asking here? It's that awful feeling of being completely lost at sea before the journey's even begun. You know where you want to go, you have a goal, but the questions you come up with feel like they're kind of random, they don't connect, and they don't feel like they're leading you toward your destination. In this first section, we're going to break down exactly why this happens so often. Professor Kronje says the fundamental issue is a misalignment. Our aims and our questions just aren't talking to each other. When our questions don't serve our main goal, our results can't either. So if being misaligned is the problem, what's the solution? Simple. We need a better map. In this next section, we're going to look at a framework that basically acts as your personal guide, leading you straight from your aim to the right questions. So, where does this map come from? It's actually built on a classic 2x2 grid from a couple of sociologists, Burrell and Morgan. It divides the world of research into 4 distinct territories. Up in the top left, we have the radical humanist. Bottom left is the interpretive. Bottom right, the functionalist. And top right, the radical structuralist. So, let's take a little tour of these 4 territories, shall we? Because figuring out which one your research project lives in is the first step to finding your way. Each of these 4 territories has a simple, one-word mission. Your main aim as a researcher is either to explore, to explain, to develop, or to describe. Choosing your word is probably the single most important decision you're going to make. Each territory also has a core value, like whether you're seeking virtue or seeking power, and a core philosophy. Notice how the left side, the subjective side, is all about exploring endless possibilities. Meanwhile, the right side, the objective side, is all about finding that one best solution. Knowing which side of that line you're on helps place you on the map. Okay, so we've got our map, we've got our 4 territories. Let's see how we turn this whole framework into an actual, practical tool for finding your key questions. And this is the magic moment. It's so elegant. By adding 4 simple question types to the axes of our grid, we've got what is on top, why does on the bottom, how does on the left, and when does on the right. The whole system just clicks into place. Each territory is now defined by the 2 questions that meet right there. Let's make it even simpler. This table right here, all you have to do is find your aim. Let's say your goal is to explore. The table tells you to ask what is and how does. Or maybe your aim is to develop a solution. Okay, then your questions are why does and when does. It's a direct, no-nonsense link from your core mission to your key questions. But does it actually work in the real world? In this final section, let's put the map to use. We're going to take a single topic and run it through the generator to see what it spits out. So, our topic is technology adoption by teachers. It's a classic in education research, right? Now just watch what happens when we simply change our one-word aim. You're about to see how we get 4 completely distinct but equally valid research projects out of this one single topic. Okay, first up, let's say our aim is to explore. That puts us in the radical humanist quadrant. The map instantly gives us our questions. What are the affordances of this technology, and how do teachers actually apply them in their classrooms? We're basically just mapping out the terrain here. Now let's switch it up. Our new aim is to explain. We slide over to the interpretive quadrant. Suddenly, our questions become, how does this tech get adopted? And why does it get adopted in this specific way? You see, we're not just mapping anymore. Now we're trying to really understand the process. What if our goal is to develop a solution? Well, now we're a functionalist. The questions totally shift again. Why do some teachers adopt so much faster than others? And when will the slower adopters finally get on board? This is all about problem solving and making things work better. And finally, what if our aim is just to describe the situation as objectively as possible? That lands us in the radical structuralist territory. Our questions are now, what is the current state of adoption, factually, and when is the state reached? Here we're just measuring and reporting. So there you have it, 4 aims, 4 completely different projects. And it gets even better. This map isn't just for starting a single project. It can actually guide an entire research program over time. You can move through the quadrants one by one. As you see here, you can first explore the terrain, then you explain the theory behind what you found, then you develop a solution based on that theory, and finally, you describe the outcome of that solution. It's a whole cycle of discovery. So the only question left is, what about you? Take a look at your own work, your own project, or even just something you're curious about. What is your main goal? Is it to explore, explain, develop, or describe? Because once you know that, you've got your map, you've got your questions, and you've got a clear path forward.